Michi dwellers, you hear that? Well, you better because you're about to get drilled.
Editor's note, you cannot hear this because the mic did not pick up the power drill.
Oh.
Ooh, do you feel that power?
Dude, did you just whip out the power drill? We gotta see it again. It's cuter than I thought it'd be.
Get drilled.
Oh no.
Michi dwellers, it is episode 11. It is Testo no Toki.
Yeah, well, testo no jikan da ze. We are reviewing everything that we've learned in the lessons up until now.
I gotta admit, I feel like a bit of a hypocrite doing this sort of lesson, even though it was my idea, because I never tested very well. Luckily, we don't have the institutions in order to grade each and every one of you individually, so it's gonna have to be on your own vocation at the end of the day. So
and honestly, the nice thing about this kind of a testing is it's like we're just actually gonna go over everything that we've learned up until now, give you a nice little summary, and let you know once again everything that we studied up until now, so that way if anything feels like I could work on that skill of counting up to 12 a little more, then like, oh yeah, like they taught that in level 6, and so you can create your own intervention and
exactly
fix yourself. So
no one's gonna teach you Japanese better than yourself. If you guys can notice, I have a different background today. I'm recording from my studio here in El Segundo, and the quality's up just a little bit today. It's a little treat for episode 11 for passing that threshold. The number of listeners that we have are slowly growing, which is a pretty nice feeling. I'm glad you take the time to want to listen to us ramble and talk shit, and well, quite frankly, teach Japanese in probably the funnest way that you've encountered thus far. Let's pat ourselves on the shoulder, Jay-Sensei. Yeah. There we go. All right. So, Jay-Sensei, let's go.
all right, so we're gonna start first by taking a look at what we went through in lesson 1. Summary of that was when we did some self-introductions. We learned about basic sentence structure, and we learned how to ask what something is. The grammar was a wa bi des. Ooh. And we also got to learn about the sentence ending particle ka. So, Tarik, here's a question. Now, listeners, after I ask this question, take a moment to pause and answer it yourself, and then go ahead and unpause it when you're ready to hear Tarik's answer, and then we'll go ahead and give you some feedback on how it's all going. So let's go ahead and have you say, in Japanese, what is this, using the content taught in lesson 1?
Kore wa nan desu ka? Or kore wa nani if you are speaking casual Japanese.
All right, you ready to find out how you did?
Yes.
Yeah, that was perfect. Yeah, great job.
I'm perfect.
Now let's do the reverse. Japanese to English. What does sore wa nani mean? Sore wa nani?
What is that?
Good. Now, was that polite Japanese?
No, that was not polite Japanese.
How can you know?
Well, because we did not have a desu ka at the end of it. And it was nani, not na.
That is absolutely correct. Including the comment about nani versus nan. That's right. Because when you use nani, it acts independent of other stuff. But in a polite Japanese, you use nan, and that always going to be a prefix and have things that it takes after it, like nan desu ka. So let's go ahead and review the vocabulary from lesson 1. We had pardon me, which is what in Japanese?
Sumimasen.
How do we say yes in Japanese?
Hi.
Or
if we were casual, we would say in.
That's correct. Which, by the way, if you're like saying the negative one, how do we say no?
Politely, yeah. Impolitely,
Oh, dude, that was perfect. A lot of people have a hard time like saying the negative one, but I think you did it really well. How's about the word for the Japanese language? What is Japanese in Japanese?
Nihongo, as in go to Nihon, and you speak Nihongo.
Yeah, good. Now, there's 2 words that are often translated the same in English, but are actually different in Japanese. When I see someone and I'm meeting them for the first time, what ought I to say?
Hajimemashite.
Perfect. And then after you've shared your name and a little bit about yourself, what's the one that's like kind of also means nice to meet you, but technically, well, I humbly hope.
Dozo yoroshiku.
Nice. Now, all you weebs out there have probably heard yoroshiku onegaishimasu or yoroshiku onegaishimasu, something like that many times. If you plug your nose, you like sound like a convincing anime character. Just speak Japanese with your nose plugged, and it's like yoroshiku onegaishimasu.
He's
feel like
got braces on.
I imagine like more like one of those old guys whose like back is like bent so bad he could be like an upside down
He's like
capital
a
L.
fucking question mark.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like saying, okay, so I'm gonna put this all together. You ready?
はじめまして。僕は J と申します。どうぞよろしくお願いします。
Now let's go ahead and hit our lesson 2 summary where we learned about food and drink, mostly alcohol, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because that's the only thing you drink in Japan. Forget the ocha. It's
Yeah.
all about the beer.
And the
It's all
high
about
border.
the whiskey. High border.
And the sawa. Yeah, so we talked about those kinds of things. We also learned about the pronouns this, that, the Japanese that over there, and which. And we also learned how to ask questions. So let's review that real quick. The word for which in Japanese is what.
Dore.
Yeah. How do I say that over there?
Are?
Now the way you did that's correct, but the way you said it in Japanese, when someone like hears something that's like hard to believe, or that like they're like, did I get that? Like, did I hear that correctly? They'll be like, are?
Are?
So
Well, they got a lesson out of that. So technically, I was correct.
yeah,
right?
and they got to know that there's two ares. Yeah. So are is like that thing over there, and then are is something that you can say when it's like, what? Are you serious? Majiska? Uso! No way! I'm screaming. I'm sorry. Then there is this, as in something close to you. I happen to have a thermos right here. So if I want to say this is a koppu, I could say, what for this?
これはコップで
Nice. And the individual word was kore, which is
これ
correcto. Okay. Now that I want to shoot myself, let's now move on to the word for that. How do I say that?
That you want to shoot yourself in Japanese?
No, I mean, the word that, T-H-A-T, that.
それ
Nice. Now, sore is something that's going to be close to the person you're talking to, and are is going to be something that's far away from both of you, like we covered in the lesson. So hopefully that was just review for you, because that wasn't the first time I taught it. Wasn't the first time I taught it.
Yeah, not the first time you taught it. And you know what? If you don't like it, too bad, because you're still getting...
Insert drill sound effects.
All right, so let's go ahead and ask some questions using all these cool words. Tarik, how would you ask someone, and listeners, of course, pause to answer yourselves, is that a highboru?
それはハイボールですか? Or それはハイボール?
Now, the word for single, as in someone who is single, is shinguru.
シングル
Yeah. So,
それはシングルだ
how would you say? That's okay, because then, Tarik, someone's going to come up and ask you, are you single? And how are they going to say it in Japanese?
Be my Valentine. Be
now.
my Valentine.
I feel like that was more of an interpretation rather than a translation of what I wanted you to do. So I'll go ahead and answer this one. The correct answer would have been shinguru desu ka? If you really wanted to say you and specify that the person you're talking to, you'd be like, anata wa shinguru desu ka? Let's say that slowly. Anata wa shinguru desu ka?
あなたはシングルですか?
What is the word for bread?
Pan.
Cool, and like that, we have a bunch of other vocabulary we'd like to go over. How would I say takoyaki in Japanese?
Oh, God. Put it in my mouth. I mean, takoyaki.
That's correct, because takoyaki is already a Japanese word, and it means taco balls, which is octopus balls.
Little side note, the waitress at my local ramen spot, she was telling me the other day that they like to play this game called Russian Roulette Takoyaki, and inside of one of the takoyaki balls, when they create them, they put a bunch of wasabi in there, and they don't tell you which one it is.
I love this.
Everybody's got to have one. And one lucky winner, gets a mouthful of fried wasabi. Yeah,
I like that.
Good times.
I like that.
Yeah.
You know, that makes me think that one day, perhaps when we're done with beginner series, we should do like a live stream or something, or just like a for fun episode, and then do this takoyaki Russian roulette, or we could just see how much wasabi Tarik can take before he throws up.
Obviously, Jay volunteers me for this, and I want to take up a double dog dare. So if he double dogs dares me to do it, boy oh boy, I'm in for something. This will be the first time I ever celebrate something in that sort of fashion. So it's going to be quick and probably very painful.
You'll definitely feel it in the sinuses, but that it might be good. Like just catch a cold beforehand.
Yeah, exactly.
Therapeutic or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of different words. I'm gonna now take them off the screen so Tarik can't see them. And then, all right, Tarik.
All right, yeah.
I'm gonna say a word in Japanese. I need you to translate it into English. Here we go. Tabemono.
Food,
Yeah, good job. Nomimono.
drinks, or drinks,
Mm.
beverages.
Nihonshu.
Well, Nihon is Japan. Shu, like a weekend. Nihon, Japan week.
Oh, this is gonna blow you away. Ready?
Japanese rice wine.
So this is the Japanese
Okay.
word for sake. Because what does osake or sake mean really in Japanese?
It just means alcohol, right? So Nihonshu is
What we call sake.
Japanese rice wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Us gaijin, us uneducated, ignorant, alcoholic foreigners.
You know, I think like if you go to Japan and you're like, let's go drink sake, thinking you're gonna be drinking rice wine, you're gonna be like mistaken when your Japanese coworkers just bring a bunch of like random alcohols, and then they're like, "This is sake, dude," and you're like, "I wanted Japanese sake." And if you say Japanese sake, that might actually get through because sake
Yeah.
just means alcohol.
Oh, we're jumping to lesson
Yeah,
3.
we'll go lesson
All
3.
right.
We were also going over food and drink in that lesson. We got our first exposure to adjectives, and then we got even better asking other types of questions too, because we also learned kana and other sentence-ending particles, such as yo and ne, and we got to see those no-ending demonstrative adjectives. Sono, ano, and dono. What's the difference between sore and sono? Kore and sore for tangible and intangible things. Like, for
Right,
example,
okay.
like someone tells you a stupid story, you could be like, wow, that was stupid. And you can say sorry in that situation, like, sore wa kudaranai ne. And, you know, a story is intangible, right? It's an abstract noun. So, how's about this? How would I say this is delicious as opposed to this tea is delicious?
This is delicious would be kore wa oishii,
Yes.
and this tea is delicious. Kono cha wa oishii.
And that's because kono, sono, ano specify the thing you're talking about, as opposed to kore, sore, and are, which take the place of the thing you're talking about. So in our example, we were talking about tea both times, but when we said kore wa oishii, it literally means this is delicious. And I was talking about tea, but I didn't actually have to say the word tea because I just said this instead. Kore
Right.
wa oishii. Now, kono is telling us which tea there is. There might be different types of teas on the table. You have that jasmine dazzling and black tea and Earl Grey, and the Japanese person's like, I'll have the matcha. And it's like, I will have this tea, and that would be kono ocha o kudasai. Kono. So I'm not going to hide the screen and quiz you on this vocabulary. So take a final look. 1, 2, 3.
I'm not looking at it at all.
So, true or false? Gohan means rice, but it does not mean meal.
False.
That is correct. So, we have from the word gohan words like asa gohan, hiru gohan, and ban gohan. Now, let's mix them up. Tarik, what is hiru gohan in English?
Lunch.
Correct. How's about ban gohan?
Dinner time.
Okay, I can talk. It was so good. Wasn't expecting it. All right. Breakfast is
I'm not gonna do anything for breakfast. I'm not gonna do anything with my sunglasses because I don't eat breakfast. But it is asa gohan.
correct, and I think I can see myself in your sunglasses when you look forward. There I am. I see me.
Yeah. Hello, narcissist. Nice to meet you.
Damn it. Called out.
Narcissists.
I've been found out. Will you ever forgive me?
Don't gaze to the pond for too long, my friend.
So let's our next word is death. Death in Japanese is.
Shinu.
Oh, that's true. I was hoping you would say desu.
Desu.
Desu gezu. How's about juice?
Desu.
Nice. Coffee.
Kohi.
Nice. I get a lot of people in my lessons who like say kofi and they want to use the F consonant, but it's not an F. What's that second consonant again? Yeah, it's like kohi with an H.
Oh, it's kohi. Yeah, it's with an HI. Why would they think it's with an F? H sounds nothing like F.
I know, but I think they're probably still like
Huck you,
thinking
dude.
English.
No, you can't say that. You can't say huck you.
Cute, dude. That was about milk.
Yin or milk.
Do you know cereal?
Cereal.
Oh, perfect. Okay, and this was like our phrase from lesson 3. Please pass the blank.
Yeah, that one's flying over my head.
So go ahead and say,
So-
please pass the rice.
Gohan o totte kureru.
Lesson 4, summary.
Here we go.
Ooh, this was like pronunciations like heavy, wasn't it? We went over vowels.
Mm-hmm.
How many vowels are there in Japanese?
5.
Yep. A, I, U, E, O. Now, we start with O and say Oka-san. She was one of the main vocabulary words from this lesson because we learned how to talk about family and friends as well. We also learned about the direct marking particle O, kind of,
In Japan,
verbs.
do they have like anata no okasan jokes?
That is the word I was going to ask you about. Can you say it again?
Okasan.
All right, listeners, do you remember what an Oka-san is? It's a mom.
And wait, but before we say that, do you remember what anata no means so you can get where I'm going?
It means your.
So when I say anata no okasan jokes, your mom jokes.
It means your mom jokes, which they don't exist in Japan until now.
Yeah,
Let's
exactly.
let's Google this real quick just for fun. Oh, mama joke. Maybe they do, and they call it mama joke.
Mama joke.
Let's check this out. I think that mama joke isn't jokes about moms or your mom, but it's rather just jokes
It's
that
just
moms
like
say.
It's like an oyaji gagu.
Exactly. So,
See, America's not nearly as balanced as Japan is. Japan has both dad jokes
oyaji gegu.
and mom jokes.
Don't you forget it. So, what's an otosan?
That's your dad.
And what's the difference between an otosan and an oyaji?
Oyaji is more of that's my old man,
Yeah.
and then Otosan is father.
So, true or
Better rec-
false, Oni-san is a friendly way to talk to a young male and address them, and it also means older brother.
True.
Yeah, it's true. So you
Yeah.
can go up to a
Also-
stranger,
also,
call him
real
Oni-san.
quick too. I know in the Yakuza games they refer to like their superiors sometimes as Oyaji, and I only found that out after our lesson.
Oh, dude, did you know about Aniki too? Do they say Aniki in like the Yakuza games?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and kill that.
Yeah. Aniki is also a way to say older brother, but like it's used a lot by Yakuza to talk about inner community superiors.
And then Kyodai is, I would imagine, just like, same level brother. Say.
So Kyodai means two things. If you look at the characters, it's older and younger brother literally put together. So older and younger brother.
Oh.
Brothers is often how it gets translated. And Kyodai also can mean just all of your siblings in general. So if you wanted to ask someone, how many siblings do you have? You would say, "Nanin kyodai desu ka?"
But if you were in the realm of
Yakuza.
Kyodai, it's more like brother in arms.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
if you want to be like, "This guy's my brother." You'd be
Yeah.
like, "Koitsu wa
Breda.
kyodai daze."
Bruda. Kyodai does it.
Koitsu wa ore no kyodai daze. All right, time to quiz Tarik on some vocabulary. So last look. All right. Our naughty word of this day was geri. Do you remember what geri was?
That was diarrhea.
What does the question word do mean?
What?
And it also can mean,
Ow.
yeah, how.
Dosuru.
Yeah, do suru would be like,
There you go.
what will we
yeah.
do, or like, how should we do it?
Right.
Here's the one. これをどう食べますか? That would be like, how do
are-
I eat it?
how are you?
It's kind of similar to doyate. We'll learn about that more in the future. But yeah, do is
Mm.
what or how. Suru. What does suru mean?
It's to do something, take an action. It's the action taking place after the verb.
The verb. Yep,
So
it comes after the direct object. Taberu.
to eat.
Good. So how do we say I will eat ramen for lunch? Like hiru gohan ni.
Hiru gohan ni ramen o taberu.
Lesson
That's
5.
correct.
We learned how to pronounce Japanese consonants. We learned more about talking about one's own family and other people's families as well. Tarik, there was a couple of consonants that are typically difficult to pronounce if you speak English as your native language. Do you remember what any of those are?
I would imagine fu.
Yeah, the F is a
Right.
little weird because it's a bilabial sound. You don't do
Yeah.
but you do instead.
And then-
R is harder to pronounce. We're used to having R be an sound, but in Japanese it's like a combination between R, D, and L all at the same time. So, for example, the Japanese word for thank you is not arigato, but it's arigato.
Arigato.
It's not Hiroshima, but it's Hiroshima.
Hiroshima.
If that's one of those ones, you can say your R sounds really well. You'll sound very convincing. Tarik, what is the word for someone else's older sister?
Imoto's younger sister. I
True.
remember that.
Oh, and if it's someone else's younger sister, what do we need to add to the end?
Imoto-san.
Yeah, good.
Older sister is One-san.
Next up, we have. Was there anything in here that we didn't go over? Oh, kareshin kanojo. What do those mean?
Kareshi is boyfriend,
Mm-hmm.
and kanojo is something that you don't have,
Oh,
listener.
that's true. Because I'm
Go
kind of
get you some more kanojos.
go get your kanojo or your kareshi.
Yeah, so kanojo is girlfriend. It could also be used to describe a woman as well, if I'm correct. right?
Dude, I
No?
heard someone's thought. Someone was thinking, man, they're like, can you also say kare for boyfriend? Like, I thought boyfriend was kare, and that's also true. Now that I've answered your question, read your mind, subscribe
Yeah,
and
hit the bell for notifications.
hit the bell for notifications.
Go kare away from me. I don't kare about your problems.
All right, lesson 6. We learned, Japanese sentence structure. What was our cool?
Anagram? Is it anagram?
It could be. Anyways, STOV. What does it stand for?
Abbreviation?
Yeah. What does it stand for?
STOV, stove. Subject?
Good.
Time.
Time.
Time. It's something that, was wasting for a good few seconds over there. It's called form and function. Learn how to use it.
Oh.
O, object.
V.
Verb.
You restrained yourself there. I'm impressed. E.
Can't use the same joke twice. E, for ending particle.
Correct. Did you not
Well,
think that was correct?
Yeah, I did not think that was correct. You're like, because that is correct. You are incorrect.
No, you nailed it, man. You had it.
Sweet.
Sweet. All right, here's a stove sentence. 私は昨日寿司を食べたよ.
Yesterday, I ate sushi.
Tarik, tell us what you will eat ashita tomorrow using a stove sentence.
I'm going to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger in the classic film Commando. 俺は明日朝ごはんにグリーンベレーを食べる.
You're going to eat green berets for breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, the quote is, I eat green berets for breakfast. Yeah.
Excellent. That was perfectly
Right now, I'm
executed.
very hungry.
私はとてもお腹が空いている. We got some new verbs also in that lesson, and we got a lot more direct particle O practice. Let's go ahead and look at some of that vocab. All right, so how did we say I will jog?
俺がジョギングする.
Yeah, nice.
俺がジョギングをする.
Like at first I thought it was going to be like a little bit robotic, like 僕の妻の名前はチャット GPT です. I'm married to ChatGPT. Let's go ahead and check out lesson 7, 1 through 12. All right, so let's take it from the top. Ichi.
1、
Your turn. Next.
2、
San.
4、
And Yon.
5、
5,
6、
6,
7/7
A plus.
8、
8,
9、
9,
10、
10. Two more because we're telling time.
11、12、
All right. Now, how do we then make that 12 o'clock?
12時.
Good. Okay, so 今は何時ですか?
What time is it now?
Good. More 勉強の時間だ! Means?
It's time to study,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah. I didn't really say that, but yeah.
I heard it in your voice.
It was there.
Your soul was screaming it.
You know what else my soul was screaming? Shugo suru.
That means
Shugo.
to meet up,
Does.
to
How's it?
rendezvous.
How do you mark the place where you meet?
De.
Good. In this lesson, we also learned about de. Well, we didn't talk about it too much. We just kind of used it. De is where you say where you did in action. So if you stole the undies at Walmart, first of all, get a life and steal them from Coach.
Or you can remember it by this. Des nuts.
De, because it's the particle de.
Yeah, and it takes action. Des nuts take action.
Tama tama. Did you know that that's one way that you can say that? It's literally
Tama.
It's literally a ball.
Ball ball.
Yep, tama tama.
Tama. These tamas.
These tama tamas. We should make that the 9 word of the day because we don't have one today.
Oh, okay, cool.
Tama tama.
Tama.
It also means by
No, you
chance. Like it's a homophone with by chance. So it's like by chance there were some balls. Tama tama ga arimashita. Lesson 8. We learned how to count up to 99 and we did 24-hour time. We talked about it because Japanese people use that for train schedules and business stuff. And then we also learned how to say how much something costs. So what can we add to the end of a number, Tarik, to say its price? Like this is 90 yen.
Kyakuen.
Oh, it's 100 yen. これは100円です. So, to say a double-digit number, the formula was number plus ju plus the other number. In other words, if I wanted to say 22, it would be ni ju ni. So, Tarik, how do I say 55?
Go, Jew. Go.
Nice. How do I say 70?
ShitaMachi favorite.
It's a ShitaMachi
That's the
favorite.
number.
If we ever
When we
make
get
merch, we should have like
55.
baseball like shirts that say 55 on it, and then like it would be like written above it Gojugo as like the player name. I really think we should get baseball jerseys for this podcast. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Listeners,
I'd
if you
wear
would
it.
buy it, send us a message and let us know, and we'll pay a factory overseas to make it for you.
Yeah, exactly. We're in China, maybe in Japan. I don't know.
This Japanese product produced by these Americans was made in China. And will only cost you $55 because we can't just charge
That's a
55.
fair price.
That's
That's a
like
fair price.
if anything, that's kind of cheap, dude. I bought like a jersey at a Utah Jazz game the other day, and that thing was like $120.
120 fucking bucks, huh?
I was an idiot and bought it at the stadium, so yeah.
I guess you got to support jazz music or whatever.
Sports?
Jazz music.
Yeah. So in that lesson, we had the adjectives for cheap and expensive. These are important ones.
Which
How would I
works,
say this sushi is cheap?
この寿司はめちゃ安いね。
How's about that banana is expensive?
そのバナナは高いね。
How much is this apple?
このリンゴはいくら？
And once again, uso was our like cool word of the day. That means not only a lie, but what else does it mean?
Just kidding. And if someone is a liar, you could call them an Isoltsky.
Correct.
You could take a drill to the fucking head. We don't like liars here.
It's a little aggressive.
Korotte.
殺さないでください。行きたいんだもん。Lesson 9 was how to order at restaurants and how to count objects. Using the tsu counter, which is not such an easy one. And then we learned basic interjections, things like and in Japanese. Nice. What's the other one? Nice. All right. So I'm going to say some sentences to order stuff at a restaurant using the tsu counter, and then Tarik's going to tell me what I ordered. ハンバーガーを3つください。
3 hamburgers, please.
Nice. コーヒーを2つください。
2 coffees, please.
フライドポテトを1つください。
1 fried potato, please.
And what's a fried potato in Japanese?
Something karageon.
Oh, it's French fries.
French fry.
Yeah, they don't call it French fries. They call it fried potato.
Fried potato. 1つ. Onegaishimasu.
And that, don't worry, that they're
Why?
not gonna just give you like one like French fry with that.
Yeah.
That would be like fried potato ippon kudasai, and we'll get into the difference between that later. Hitotsu would be like the container of French fries. All right, so let's say you order beer in Germany, and for some reason you're doing it in Japanese. What are they gonna say to you?
This is during 1942 when they were allies.
Oh god.
Yeah, so it makes sense. So what do you want me to ask?
You walk into the Japanese-speaking German McDonald's, and they're gonna welcome you. How do they welcome you into the store?
Irashaimase.
Irashaimase. Willkommen to McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Hamburger o hitotsu kudasai. Then in our last lesson, we wrapped up our ordering content. We didn't have any new grammar for that lesson, but we had a ton of expressions. So let's test Tarik on those really quick, and then we'll wrap it up for today. What is the polite way to ask someone to please wait?
Shoshomachi kudasai ne.
All right. How's about gochumon?
Gochumon is someone's order.
Yeah, how's about this one? What is the normal Japanese version? You can either use polite or casual for yoroshii desu ka? Yoroshii is the honorific version of e. So if I want to say that will be 20 yen, I don't know what you're buying. There's nothing for 20 yen. But it would be goke.
One of my hookers again.
Wow. Like what would that even be? That's like a millisecond with her.
Oh, I mean,
Nice to meet you. My name is Sia.
She should be paying for me. Thank you very much.
Ooh, confidence. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay, let's make it then at least 200 yen. How did you say it? That will be 200 yen.
No, we're doing my discount.
Normally, it would be goke 20 yen ni narimasu.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
like that's kind of what people say. Technically, you'll hear this at the stores all the time, and then a strict Japanese language teacher will be like, you should say goke 20 yen de gozaimasu, because that's more correct. Okay, now that we've said that to at least be accurate, I think we should go ahead and wrap up this review. So it wasn't a strict, intense test, but do you feel like we reviewed everything pretty good?
Yeah, I think we had a pretty good idea of it. And keep in mind also that there is more to this review than was verbally expressed on the screen. So if this is going to help you with that, we would suggest check the YouTube. Oh, we finally get to the bonus.
Yeah, Tarik, you've been waiting for this. You've wanted to know this for so long, right? It's how to ask someone to speak in casual Japanese. Yay. So Tarik, tame is like peers, like people of your same age and stuff. And the word for casual speech in Japanese is tameguchi.
Tameguchi.
Yeah. Now, tameguchi o kiku means to speak in casual Japanese. Let's say that together one time. Tameguchi o kiku.
Tameguchi o kiku.
Tameguchi o kiku is to speak casual Japanese, and then is it okay to speak in casual Japanese is tameguchi kiite mo ii desu ka?
Tameguchi kiite mo ii desu ka? Tameguchi kiite mo ii desu ka?
And, you know, there could be an O in there too. You could be like tameguchi o kiite mo ii desu ka? But yeah, that is how to ask someone to speak casual Japanese with you. So if you liked this or anything else in this video, definitely please let us know. Comment it. Like, subscribe, do the things, but just don't ask the kashira of your Yakuza association if you can use tameguchi, because he'll be like, Nanjato! Well, this was a lot of fun. I hope you listeners enjoyed it too, and be sure to join us for season 2 starting next time. 参加してください。はい、それじゃあ、またね。失礼します。
失礼します。